huge shout out to everyone who watched part 1 of this podcast that Dakota and I did. The response has been amazing. Obviously, it's not getting that many views. Was totally expected because, well, me and Dakota will talk about that in the next podcast after this one. But nothing to worry about. The response from you guys in the comments has been amazing. And so we already want to keep going and keep doing this. With that being said, I'm calling to you guys right now before we get into the second part of this podcast that Dakota and I did about how we, and especially Dakota, got into anime. This one's going to be a lot about Dragon Ball Z, but there's other things in there too. And I think it's still worth listening to even if you haven't watched Dragon Ball Z. But before we jump into that, I want to call on you guys to leave questions in the comments below because the next episode we're going to do is going to be a Q&A. If you already left questions on the first part, it's cool. You don't have to leave them again. I'm going to check both videos when I compile the questions. We want to catch you guys up on exactly where we've been. So anything you want to ask, it's fair game. It's been over 3 years since this channel was active. And if you didn't follow me over to We Wonder or Dakota over into the multiple different things that Dakota's done since leaving, then you might have some questions. So go ahead, throw them in. Or if you want to know about the future and things we had planned, anything that comes to your mind that you might want to ask, just throw it down there and it will be featured in our next podcast. It's going to be a full podcast, so we're going to go in answering every question in detail. Looking forward to it. But with that, let's get to this podcast. Don't forget there's a link in the description to my channel, my other channel, and more importantly, to Dakota's podcast, which is where this exact episode and the next couple will also be featured on there. But after a little while, we're going to break it off because Dakota does have another specific show that he does on that podcast, and we don't want to overrun it with this show that we're cultivating here. Well, we don't have a name for it. We don't have any idea what this is going to turn into. It's all up in the air, but we're just rolling with it and having fun. So let's jump into the show now, and I'll see you on the other side. That's the best thing that ever came out of Dragon Ball Evolution. It changed Dakota's trajectory forever.
Like I said,
really,
2009 was the year and day of my rebirth.
Yeah. So if without Dragon Ball Evolution, would Dakota have been in convention reviews? Would there be a convention reviews? I think no, because I only went to that first con because you were going with me. Chris didn't want me to go. I wouldn't have done it alone.
That's true.
Yeah, if you weren't into anime, I probably wouldn't have gone to that first con.
You probably would have. You probably would have went with Chris. I'm sure you would have gone, but I don't know. I'm sure you might have gone to an anime convention at some point, but I don't.
Yeah, I think I would have eventually gone to cons, but would it have played out the same where I would have made?
I think with us being there and the way you film, if you'd doing it by yourself, you could do it. But I think it helped having us there feed off each other when you filmed.
Absolutely. One of the best things about those old videos isn't the cons, at least for me, it's the crew. It's Shelby said it the best before she was even in the videos and she was just looking at them. It's like an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you want them there. You want at least some of them there, even if it's not everyone.
You're absolutely right.
And it adds a lot to it. It's like with streamers, I think, it's which took a lot of people a long time to realize it, to learn that it's not about the game. It's about the personality that you're watching.
People who don't understand that.
Well, there's always going to be people who don't understand things because there's a lot of dumb people or people who just don't want to try to understand things.
I mean, there's still people who believe the earth is flat, but we're not going to get into that.
So, man, my cats are so annoying.
I can hear them now, actually.
Dude, it's louder right now in my apartment than it ever is at 8:30 in the morning. I don't know what is going on.
That is hilarious. So where were we at? So we started with Dragon Ball, the original show.
Yep. Because Dragon Ball Evolution was based off Dragon Ball. And so Dakota was interested in that.
And I wanted to work my way up through Z. Looking back, if I could do it again, knowing what I know now, I would have muscled through Dragon Ball.
Yep.
But
yeah, because you didn't make it.
No, we stopped right at the beginning of the Red Ribbon Army saga, I think.
No, dude, we were watching against General Blue.
Yeah, because he hadn't even fought General Blue yet.
He was fighting. I'm pretty sure he was in the fight with General Blue. The last episode we saw was like in the middle of fighting General Blue. And you're just like, I'm not into this. And I'm like, well, this is like the action part. If you're not into this,
I
you're
think
not gonna.
what was going on was in the middle of all this, every time I'd come over and hang out, we would also play Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and I would see all the crazy, awesome things that the characters could do in Z.
Oh.
And I was just like, I want to see that. Can we go to that?
Yeah, and Dragon Ball is like, especially at that point, it's still, I can't believe I'm gonna say Dragon Ball is this, but it's still more realistic. It's not realistic,
grounded.
don't get
It's
me
more
wrong, but
grounded.
it's much more grounded. It's not ridiculous.
Literally,
People,
they don't fly as much.
there was no flying yet.
Not until the end.
No, the flying starts with Tien. He's the first character who can fly.
Okay, so it's towards the middle then.
Yeah, about the middle, and then Goku will learn how to do it before
He doesn't,
Piccolo Saga.
and then he doesn't even fully like he's not even fully capable of flying indefinitely until after he trains with King Kai.
Yeah, I think. I don't really remember. It's been so long. I haven't seen Dragon Ball as much as I've seen Z. But yeah, you're right, because he's
We just watched it because he
the
could
Snake Way.
flying to Snake Way, but he lost all his energy. But as soon as he trained with King Kai, he was able to just the entire way back. That's how he got back so fast.
Yeah. So we started with Dragon Ball, but there's an interesting thing about when we watched Dragon Ball, the original.
Oh yes. Oh, and even when we skipped it, we had to watch the first 2 seasons of Dragon Ball Z this way.
Because I didn't own them yet. They were coming out. I don't know if you guys will remember. Me and Dakota definitely remember. And I know Dakota's collecting them.
Oh man, and it is a treat.
There were the orange box sets, the DVD remastered versions of Dragon Ball Z were coming out at the time I'm getting Dakota into Dragon Ball. It was perfect. And I loved them. Every time a new one came out, I would buy it. But
you started with 3, I believe.
I started with 3 because Chris and I were already watching them online. So we watched through the first 2 online on like animefreak.tv, I think is what it was called.
Like that.
And then by the time we got to the 3rd one, I'm like, I think I just saw it in the store and I'm like, I'm just gonna buy this. Like I want to just buy these so we can watch it on our big TV and not have to watch it on the computer.
In that low,
so that's what I started doing. Huh?
In that low 260p frame.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just started buying them, and I bought all of them after the 3rd one. And I think there's how many are there?
9.
12?
So you went up to 9, and then including GT, there was 11.
You sure there's only 9?
Yeah, because
I guess you're looking it up now, right?
Bro, I've been into collecting these. Of course, I know there's 9. The very Goku.
But to start watching them, because I didn't own Dragon Ball, I didn't own the first 2 seasons of Dragon Ball Z. What did we do, Dakota?
Bro, before this, we'd even watch Dragon Ball this way. We would just chat on Yahoo Messenger daily.
Heck yeah, we would, dude. Because, guys, to the kids out there, texting, not really a thing yet. I think people were doing it, but it wasn't like it is today. It's hard to send a message.
Yeah, it's much easier to just get on the computer and just type about a message to your buddy. You know, he'll see it in 20 minutes to an hour. You never know.
Dude, we would talk all the time, but it wasn't just Dakota. I was talking to so many people
You were about the
Yahoo.
only I was talking to.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, that's just how it is, bro. I had a bunch of internet friends. Dakota had a bunch of real life friends.
See, all my friends were texting me.
Though all the people I was talking to online, they were people I knew in school. It wasn't to the point yet where it's like I've made a bunch of online friends that I don't actually know. I knew them.
That'd have been weird back then in those days.
It would have been really weird back then. Today that's totally normal. Back then it would have been like, bro, how do you know they're not like gonna touch you in a weird spot?
Bro, I met my wife that way, so like not touching.
And she did touch you in a weird spot.
I mean, a couple times. Once or twice.
Just a couple?
Once or twice.
Oh yeah. Yahoo Messenger had this awesome thing.
Is that still around? Surely it is.
What? Yahoo?
Yeah, the Messenger. I know Yahoo.
Bro,
that's my main email still, but
bro, I can look it up right now if you want. I have no idea. Was it just called Yahoo Messenger? Do you remember?
Yahoo Messenger.
Yahoo. And other people were using like AIM and
Something.
Hotmail. I started on Hotmail
You're
actually.
right.
Bro, it's still hold on, maybe not, maybe not. I clicked on Yahoo Messenger on Google and it just brought me to Yahoo's homepage.
Probably
Okay,
not.
here we go. Is Yahoo Messenger still available? Yahoo Messenger, the pioneering messaging app that changed the way users communicated over the internet, is now officially dead, bro. We should have held a funeral.
When was that? When was that article?
The article was written in 2018.
Oh,
Dude,
sad.
it made it all the way to 2018. Yeah, it says that Yahoo announced last month that they'd be killing off Yahoo Messenger.
Wow.
It made it all the way to 2018.
Well, it had a good run.
Yeah, it did. I don't know if Discord's basically Yahoo Messenger nowadays, right? But I don't know if it could do what Yahoo Messenger did, which was this amazing thing where you can watch videos together, YouTube videos, but it wasn't just YouTube because I'm pretty sure some of that Dragon Ball we were watching were from MySpace videos.
Some of them, I believe. I know. I
Dude,
know.
most of Dragon Ball was on MySpace video,
I think you're
the
right. 'Cause
original.
when we started watching Z, it was YouTube because none of it,
Yeah.
none of Ball was on um, YouTube at the time. But you're like all of Z's on YouTube, but they were in two parts on YouTube.
Yeah, it's always split up because back then, dude, this is really like the Wild West. I think this was like, well, so it was 2009.
Yeah.
But it was like you couldn't upload more than 10-minute long videos. Or some people could, but they were like the partners and and it was hard to get partnered back then.
Oh yeah.
YouTube had to basically like you had to reach out to them or they had to reach out to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not how it is today. And so everyone's having to split. Like they would always be 9 minutes every video. It'd be 2 or 3 parts for
Mm-hmm.
every one of them.
Because
And because what?
I was gonna say our videos, we tried to do videos that were long, and that would have to, you know, I think that
Yeah,
would
we would try.
keep people away from it.
Nowadays, everyone wants to go over that 10-minute mark because it lets you put more ads. Back in the day, everyone was trying to stay below that 10-minute mark because you
They
couldn't
call
upload
it
it.
they call it the golden YouTube 10-minute mark or the YouTube golden 10-minute mark.
Yeah. But Yahoo, yeah, they had this thing where in the Messenger app itself, you didn't have to go to any other websites. You could just send a link and it would bring up a little window in the Messenger where you could both watch that video together. And if one person paused it, it paused it for the other person. If one person like scrubbed through the video, it would scrub through for the other person. You were literally watching it together.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome. Like there's still ways to do that. There
Oh
are
yeah,
sites that let you do that, but it's not the same. Honestly, I used them only a
it's
couple years ago, and
so
it's not as
simple.
good.
It was so simple to do it, and like
Yeah. And you got your chat right there. So you're watching the video like on the side. And it's still in the window. And then you're chatting each other right there. So we're literally talking about what's happening in the show. We're just chatting the whole time while watching. And we would keep it little. We didn't even go full screen back then because we couldn't see the chat.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And we watched a lot that way.
That you know what else?
Like,
The first thing we watched that way was, and I actually
what?
finally just finished this year.
What?
Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Did we start with Abridged?
No, we didn't start there, but we started
Oh.
Abridged on Yahoo Messenger also.
Absolutely, we were watching Abridged on Yahoo Messenger. Every time a new one came out, we
And
were watching it on there.
I actually just finished it this year.
Really? Is it worth finishing?
Dude, oh my god. Yes.
Do they go all the way through?
They stopped at the Cell Saga, but
I made it pretty far then.
the way
I
they
was in the
stop
Cell
it, it
Saga.
almost feels like the way the show itself should have ended. Because
Well, that's the truth, right? The show was supposed to end at Cell, remember? And then they wanted to keep it going.
well, you know how in the anime Goku says, seems like everybody always keeps coming here to fight me, so I figure if I'm not there, no one can come there to hurt Earth, right?
Mm.
So, he pretty much in Abridged he says the same thing, but they make a bigger deal about it.
Yeah. Well,
I won't spoil for you, but what happens or what they say, because Cell obviously gets beat,
what? Really?
but the way they do it, the way they have Cell get beat, is the most people who have watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged can back me up on this. It is the most glorious 3.5 minutes.
All right, I'll have to watch it at some point. I'll try to
Even, you know
remember.
what?
But
Even if you don't watch it, just go watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged Cell's Death. Just
okay,
it is it's
bro,
beautiful.
for half a second, I thought we were on Yahoo Messenger again. I was about to go pull it up and just send it in the chat.
Ooh, man.
Dude, it was so simple, dude. It was really so simple. If anyone knows of a way to do that nowadays, I mean, I don't even know if I would still want to. I don't
Uh,
know who I'm like
well,
trying to watch videos with, but
well, a lot of things like Netflix and Disney Plus have that like movie share now thing where you can.
bro, it's just not the same because it had like I don't know, it was like having the chat box there's something about it. But anyway, from there, another thing we were watching in those. I mean, I don't know if you want to go into this yet or not, but it's all connected because another thing we were watching in that Yahoo Messenger chat, like viewing box, was AMVs.
Yes, yes. I couldn't tell where you're going with that. That was my next point. Um,
Yeah.
we were watching you all the time. Be like, bro, watch this Dragon Ball AMV, and I'd be like, all right, and I'd be like, dude, that was awesome because that's actually through AMVs how I started getting into new music and
Me
stuff
too,
too.
dude. So many bands
Mm-hmm.
like discovered through AMVs. So
Lincoln
I still
Park.
listen to.
Uh,
Yeah.
of course, I tried to. I I was very very much into classic rock at the time and unwilling to change my ways. I change things? I wouldn't, but could I maybe rework some things? I would tell myself to chill out a little bit on forcing the classic rock and ACDC on people.
Well,
Just
and with that, we would end up. Was it our first AMV we made together? Was it ACDC?
it still turned out pretty good for what it is. We got the timing pretty good on a lot of those shots.
Bro, is that channel still up?
I believe it's still out
What
there
is
on the
it?
ether somewhere.
AMV God 100?
I believe it's still on the ether.
I'm gonna look. But what happened?
You're asking me?
Yeah. So
Okay.
so no. I'm saying like at this point we're watching Dragon Ball.
Right.
Like whether we're on, I don't think we're even on Yahoo Messenger. Like I'm skipping ahead a little bit. We're watching Dragon Ball together. Dakota's coming over. We're watching it together. But then in our free time, when we're not together watching Dragon Ball, we're on Yahoo Messenger sharing AMVs of Dragon Ball.
It's here. I found it.
Is it really?
Yep, it's right here.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, it's so easy to find. 14
Woo!
subs, baby.
Look at all
What
this.
up? This is the
Dragon Ball.
classic stuff.
There
I
it
don't
is.
think. Is it on here, the one we were talking about?
Yeah, it's right there. The third one. Not
Dragon Ball AMV, 4 minutes and 35 seconds?
that might no,
I don't
that
know if
is
it's on here.
it's not. You're right. It must have gotten
Some
taken.
of them got, yeah, some of them got taken down for music.
That's a shame because that one was a gem. These
Yeah.
are all gems. All of these are gems.
But because, like, yeah, so that's the next place that me and Dakota connected. We were already making videos on Windows Movie Maker, really pro software. And so we were like, that was a joke, by the way.
Yeah.
We were like, let's make some AMVs, man. Like, what the heck? We can find the Dragon Ball
We can
clips, which
do
we would just find them on YouTube, right? And then use a YouTube downloader,
Mm-hmm.
download the clips. Sometimes they have subtitles on them. Sometimes some of them look better quality than others. It doesn't all quite match perfectly, but we would find,
Sometimes they're
and we
mirror.
would, yeah, we would download so much stuff, and then me and Dakota would just sit there. We'd pick our song, and we would just started making AMVs.
Mhm.
And that's where both of us really started first learning how to edit more. I mean, we were already making videos
I started editing
on,
myself a few years later, but I was still learning from you. And
yeah, the last video on here, the Dragon Force epic music video, is Dakota's creation. I'm not involved at all.
yeah, I made that entirely, and I say that as if I'm really proud and it's something worth really being proud of, but I don't think it actually is. So if you do decide to watch that, don't sit there and think, "Oh man, this is the best this guy can offer," even though it might be.
It was 9 years ago, bro.
Dang,
I mean,
no
come
way,
on.
9 years?
The first one that's on here is 11 years ago.
No way.
Yeah.
That
It's
is so crazy.
crazy because, yeah, I can remember those days, like making these clear as day.
Oh, Oh yeah, it
It's
doesn't feel like it was 11 years ago.
no, no.
I
I
feel
mean,
like
it does and it
I
doesn't.
feel like I remember editing the Dragon Force one in my parents' basement. That's
Oh, really? I just remember sitting in the
not basement,
upstairs.
kitchen. Continue.
Uh, I remember sitting upstairs in me and Chris's bedroom upstairs at that computer by the window by the stairs. We would just sit there making AMVs. I remember making that Dragon Force one because we used not Dragon Force, the ACDC one because we used
The scream.
we we were using yeah, but we were also using I just for some reason remember editing like King Cold, that clip where Frieza comes back.
Oh, because we were
Uh
trying to find clips with blood in it.
yeah, and fighting Trunks there and there's blood in that.
Yeah, we were trying to find the bloody clips because the song was "If you want blood, you've got it."
Yeah.
Uh,
So
Fitting for Dragon Ball, I felt like at the time, even still today. Um,
Dragon Ball not the bloodiest anime. As
uh,
you find it's bloody, but
it's
like compared
bloodier.
to stuff that comes later.
I mean, it's not like FMA or Blood C.
Mm,
Those are some bloody
mm.
shows, isn't it? Or it's. Oof, I'm reading Vinland Saga right now. Whew.
Tokyo Ghoul, pretty
Tokyo Ghoul
bloody,
is pretty ghouly.
pretty ghouly. But
um,
yeah, by this point, Dakota's all in, dude. We're
yeah.
making AMVs. We're watching Dragon Ball I
Now,
want
the
to say every
caveat to
day, all
watching
the time.
AMVs though is it had one downside, and that is that on top of me playing Budokai Tenkaichi 3 with you every time I came over, we'd be watching AMVs of all the awesome stuff happening, and
And
nothing
you're
awesome
not there yet.
and nothing awesome like that was happening in Dragon Ball. And I was like, can we please just skip this and go to Dragon Ball Z? So reluctantly, Cody did agree, and we skipped that and went to Dragon Ball Z. And
Yep.
again, could I redo it? I would, and I just muscle through it now, especially if I get to retain my memories. Um,
Yeah.
then I'm
But it
like, all right,
doesn't matter now.
yeah. So yeah, we started with Z, and from there, oh man, just the amount of times we've hung out. We went on that road trip to French Lick, and that's in town. Don't get confused. We went on
Yeah.
a road trip to French Lick, um, and you brought your mom's DVD player, or no, not, laptop, and me and you at night we were watching Dragon Ball because we were getting close to Goku fighting Frieza. Because
Don't remember that,
I
but I
remember
believe you.
because we got to right before he fights Frieza, like 2 episodes before he fights Frieza, and then I had to go home or something, and then I
Uh,
watch it again until I came back to your house.
could I drive then?
No,
So you were being driven over.
yeah, or getting picked up on the rare occasion.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. Because you were over all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's probably the most
I
me and
spent
Dakota were
weekends
hanging
at your
out.
house, dude. I would spend
Yeah, yeah.
weekends at your house.
You're right. You're right. You would come over. You'd just spend the night.
I'd spend the night, and then we just hang out all day, and then I'd be like, "Mom, can I stay one more night?" And you'd say the same thing to your mom, and they'd be like, "I don't care," because we stayed out of your parents' hair for the most part.
We
We're
just wake up the next day, watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, or play Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
I mean, it was Dragon Ball. Certainly, we'd probably be making a video or something. Maybe probably arguing with each other over something stupid.
there was stuff we were doing. Like, yeah, we were busy. We got Dragon Ball to watch, we got Dragon Ball to play, and we got videos to make, whether it's an AMV or SVR TV video. We
Maybe
would
a
keep it
movie,
busy.
maybe a movie here and there to like break the fast or something.
But not so much during the just watching Dragon Ball times. Because, like,
Yeah.
we're in Dragon Ball and we're getting through. But we would watch the Dragon Ball movies.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which I also still have all of yours and GT.
Did you take all my Dragon Ball movies? You have all of them?
Yep, I took all of them, but I gave
Oh, dope.
Slug and I gave 2 of them to Nate.
Slug and what else? Do you
I
know?
can't remember Slug and I want to say Tree of Might, but I don't think I'm correct on that.
I like True Might.
No,
It's
I
good.
gave him Slug and World's Strongest.
World's Strongest.
Yeah, the very first one.
Oh, shoot. Okay, not big losses.
No.
You
So I made sure to keep the good ones. I was
can
like,
give him
you
Bio Broly.
think I'm getting rid of Bio Broly? Fuck that. swore again. Sorry, Mama. Um, um, but I made sure to keep Bardock, Trunks. Obviously, I told Ariel. I said there are 2 movies we're gonna have to watch, and she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Gotta watch Bardock and Trunks." Although I don't know if
Of
we need to
course.
rewatch Bardock anymore because they rewrote his story.
Are you guys watching Kai or Z? Oh, you're watching Z because you're buying it.
I wanted to watch Kai because I thought that'd be the best way to get through it,
It would.
but again, they don't have that Bruce Faulkner music, which if you don't, people who watch it
What's the
now
Kai music though? What's the Kai music? Did they?
I think
Isn't it a new soundtrack?
it's a different soundtrack, but it's more like
It's closer to the original Japanese.
yeah, it's not as like, for lack of a better term, it's not as badass.
We are diehard. What's his Bruce
Bruce
Faulkner? Is that his name?
Bruce Faulkner.
We're diehard fans of that music. I know there's a lot of people who are like, they don't like it, and I get it. To each their own. But to me and Dakota, I think it's the Japanese Dragon Ball music, to me at least, and I think to Dakota, fits well with Dragon Ball. And
for sure,
me,
absolutely,
yeah,
it's that fun, adventurous nature of Dragon Ball. But
and I get that Dragon Ball Z was changed a bit in the English version when they dubbed it. They made it a little more BA than the Japanese one, where it was still kind of like Dragon Ball, but they're just older and stronger. But we grew up on the English dub,
the
and
yeah,
that music just fits it so well to us. It's so we loved it. Like it wasn't just like we wanted that music, like we preferred it. We actually really like the music.
dude, the first time you see Perfect Cell and you hear
Yes.
oh god,
And
chills, dude.
Vegeta's theme, like the one like the piano one.
That one, oh yes.
There's a lot of good themes.
Music, yes, and I learned recently that Bruce Faulkner and Funimation had like a legal falling out with each other, and like legally they can't use his music anymore in anything, and vice versa.
It blows.
It really does, because that's some, even if it wasn't a soundtrack, that's just some good music. Like you can listen to a lot of that on your own. Not all of it, like because I posted something about it in a Dragon Ball group I'm in on Facebook. And someone said, "Yeah, I like this one." And then it was the scene where Hercule is like doing something, and it was just like really silly, like.
Look, I'm not saying it's all gold.
No,
but there's some platinum in there. All right, it gets good.
Even I think his rendition of the theme song, I think it's his, is the
Yeah.
Oh, every time that comes on, me and Ariel are just like.
That's the thing about Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT. I like every version of the theme songs. Japanese, the English, all
They
of
do
them.
all have really good openings. Like
I think they're all good.
Even the Grand Tour rap is catchy.
Bro, I'm into it. I mean, I liked the One Piece rap, so I'm into that.
We all know that the only good thing to come out of the 4Kids One Piece is that intro.
Of course.
It's the only good thing. I even showed it to my wife, and she was even like, "That's pretty good." And I was like, "Right? We're never watching that version of the show, though."
We're not talking about One Piece, but just so you guys know, when I first got into One Piece, me and my brother, we watched all the way through, what is it? Alabasta?
They go to the end of Crocodile Arc, and
yeah, all the way. And then we found out that there's an uncut version that's the actual version, and we restarted, watched it all again.
Oh, I'm sure.
But we were enjoying it. We were enjoying the 4Kids. We're like, it's kind of lame, but we like the story.
They made it even they made it even sillier than what it actually is. The thing about One Piece is it looks silly, but damn, is it dark and brutal.
But not the 4Kids.
No, not at all.
Actually silly. It's actually like a cartoon.
Changed a gun to a spring-loaded hammer.
Of course. What else would it be?
Made the black guy white.
Oh God, did they do that?
Yeah, but to be fair, the black guy in it was he looked a little racially insensitive, but they still blatantly were like, he's white now.
Oh. Well, anyway, we went on from Dragon Ball Z. We continued through everything. We watched GT. I know there's gonna be GT haters in the chat.
We actually
liked it.
Watched GT together. Not all of it.
We didn't?
No, I finished GT on my own. You and I,
Really?
yeah, you and I watched the first season of GT together, and then I don't remember what it was. I think it was because I just really wanted to get to the end and say I finished it, and also see Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Spoilers.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
spoilers for such an old show. I don't know, bro. At this point, an
uh,
old show that's now considered to be completely non-canon because of Super.
that's true. Um,
Like, come on.
uh, but yeah, Goku. I wanted to see Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, so I was like, "Can I just borrow the last season and watch it myself?" And you again reluctantly agreed, and I did, and I think it was really good. GT is great for what it is,
Here's
but
my
that
thing with
being said,
GT.
that being said,
Okay.
I'm glad Dragon Ball Super exists now.
Yeah. Yeah. My thing with GT is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is dope AF.
Oh, best Dragon.
And the other thing I really like about GT, I don't know if people will agree or not, but I like the Baby Saga a lot.
Baby Saga is the second best, third best saga in there. I'd say second best would be the Return of Android 17.
Well,
But
there's only 3 in there, so you're putting it last.
well, the Return of Android 17 is only like five episodes. It's not very long.
I just think Omega, like Omega Shinron, the Dragons one, I like it, but I don't know why I like. I guess because in a way it gives us Goku versus Vegeta again. It's the first time we see Super Saiyan 4. There's a lot of stuff going on. Like we
Oh
get
yeah,
Maj Oob in that saga. Is that the saga where Piccolo dies? Or is that later?
that was.
Of
I
course,
can't.
Piccolo sucks in GT. I hate what they did to Piccolo. He's like boring.
The thing about him in GT is that he doesn't do a thing at all.
Nothing. Nothing. At least he's comic relief in the Boo saga.
I know Ariel keeps going on about how she thinks. Um, well, I'll talk about me and Ariel watching it in a minute. Let's continue with what you were saying.
Well, all I'm saying is I personally really like Baby Saga. To me, it feels almost like an extension to Z, other than the fact that Goku is a kid for half of it. But when he's Super Saiyan 4, it feels like this could be part of Z to me. I don't know. I just like it personally. I know not everyone's going to agree with that, but it's just me.
Um, I don't, I might have to rewatch Z with Ariel or GT with Ariel at some point because I asked her what she wanted to do. I guess we can kind of transition into that a little. Um, I asked her. I said, "Okay, now the big question is, when we finish Z, what do you want to do? Do you want to move on and continue the story with Super, or do you want to do GT the way everybody else did?" And
Mm-hmm.
um, sorry, I'm also typing Ariel as we speak. But or do you want to go through and just watch the story like you should? And she said, "Well, I'd rather watch it through to the end." And I was like, "Super, it is."
Oh, so you're just going to skip GT.
I think we'll watch it eventually. I think we will watch it at some point. But
The other thing I like about GT better than Super is I just like. I think it is a lot. I don't know how they did GT. I don't know if it's hand drawn.
yeah,
It's
that's
not. It
those,
is.
yeah, that's Cell. Those are Cell animations.
Well, yeah, I just like it better than. Don't get me wrong, I love Super, and it's got some really good animation in some of the fights. It's really nice, but I maybe it's just because I'm nostalgic for it, but I like how it looks a lot like Z did. It's the animation style is still really similar, even though they use a lot of like darker colors. The whole color palette was more red
Yeah,
in
it's kind of like
GT,
there's like more
blacks.
reds and blacks and yellows are used a lot.
But I just like the hand drawn look
I
of
get
it,
that. I can get that. It feels more like classic. It gives you
which
that.
I wouldn't have liked before. Back in the day, I was like into like let's advance anime. Like I don't need it to look like it looks lame and old if it looks hand drawn. But now
Depending on the
I'm
animation,
nostalgic for it.
see, that's why I think one of the reasons My Hero is doing so well is because it has kind of a grainy look to the animation.
Mm, I don't know. I still haven't watched it.
It's really good.
And what you have one more thing on here. I think we've pretty much got through it all because the next what happens after that is you just start getting into other anime, which I know you'll get into what you did after that. But what is the DBZ Photoshop?
Bro, do you
What are
not
you doing
remember
here?
this?
No.
Bro, you don't remember fusing or photoshopping me and you trying to make our fuse?
Holy crap! That's what this is.
Yes, dude. And we would
You
Photoshop
put
each
that
other doing
down,
Kamehameha.
bro. I can't believe you remember that to even
Of
right now.
course I remember that, dude.
I didn't. That's hilarious. So tell the people what it was.
So when we were getting into it, we were trying to be really cool and clever, and we were like, we learned to do the freaking, we learned to do the fusion dance like everybody does. Don't act like you didn't. But we
If
actually
you were into it back then, you did.
we took it to an extreme. We took a picture of us doing the fusion dance. It's way harder than you would ever think it is, by the way.
Yeah.
So don't be giving our boys crap when they mess up and get fat. Um,
Yeah.
uh, but when you do it, and then he did that, and then we each took a picture of ourselves in like similar angles, and we thought, okay, now we're gonna Photoshop our faces together, and that's what our fusion will look like.
Does that picture still exist?
I'm sure somewhere at your house or on your computer it does.
I bet it's on my old hard drive, which I should have brought here. I regret all the time that I didn't bring my old hard drive to the Philippines with me because
You want to show
so
Isa?
much old footage, so much old stuff like that I want to put in the videos. Like in the We Wonder videos. I put a lot of old
Do you
stuff in the
know?
videos when I can.
Do you know where that would be? I could always get it for you and maybe email you some stuff.
Nah, it's fine. There's so much I don't know what I would want on it.
Fair enough.
I really don't know.
Maybe I can
I'm
mail
just
it to you.
nah, it's fine. At this point I'm just waiting. The pandemic will end at some point and it'll be a nice surprise when I get home.
The year 2042.
Oh my
The pandemic
god.
is still not over.
I'll be home before then. If we go through to 2022 and this still hasn't ended, I'm just gonna come home at some point. It's like, bro, come on. How long is this gonna go?
Right. I don't.
You
I
know?
can't imagine it'll last that long.
I
Not to
hope
get
not. I mean, we've already got vaccines, you know.
I'm not getting political or anything, but as soon as I get paid next week, I'm going to get my vaccine.
Can you just do that?
Mm-hmm. Pretty sure.
Oh man. Really? I thought it was still to select people.
It might be. I got to look into it, but
I don't think it's general public yet.
I know a handful of people on my friend list who have gotten it. So
Are they like healthcare workers?
I know a couple of them are, but I think a few of them are not, which is why I was like,
Well, if you can get it, dude. Are
I
they
mean,
old? As I know to older
no.
people, like at-risk people,
Do
they're
you remember
more
my friend Jamie from choir? I don't know if you remember her.
girl?
Yes. She's very
No.
short. Oh well. Anyway,
Oh
she
yes, actually I do. I do. When you said
similar.
she's very short.
Yeah, she was the very short blonde one.
Yep.
She posted that she got hers.
Wow.
Patrick's sister Alex,
Yeah.
she got hers, but they do both work in the medical field. But I know I've seen a couple of it. But either way, as soon as it's available to the public here, I'm getting it. Like I'm.
Me too. There's nothing here in the Philippines yet, but as soon as there is,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm on it.
for the biggest reason is for me at least at my work, we have to if we're gonna leave and go out of state. We
Hmm.
every time we do that, we have to schedule a rapid COVID test, even though the chances of us getting it, even if we're in the state for just a couple or just going to our grandma's are low. We still have to if we go out of state for our work, we have to get a rapid COVID test.
That's
And
good. Do you guys
oh,
have
it's
to wear
good.
masks?
Yeah, we wear masks, and that's good. And I'm glad
Oh.
they do it. I completely get it, but I don't want to have to uh, get a COVID test every time we go to visit my in-laws.
Well, yeah, we don't need to go on that anymore. That's a whole nother topic. But
Sure,
I think
sure.
that's everything. What did you want to talk about after, like post Dragon Ball? Is there anything you
So,
wanted to say?
well, we didn't really talk much about Budokai Tenkaichi 3, but we don't need to.
It was a just know it was a big deal for us.
Honestly, I might play some of that tomorrow. Probably not tonight. I'm probably gonna go home, have dinner, go to bed. I got work in the morning. But
We played it a lot with like everyone. Anyone we
oh,
could get to play it, we would play it with them.
all the time. I have it for the Wii actually, and I'll contend to the day I die that that's not the best version, but I think it's the most fun version. if that makes sense.
I know what you mean. I will 100% agree it's definitely not the best version, but it is, I will say that it is fun. When I've played it, it's like, this is fun
Because
when
you
it's
actually
working.
do the Kamehameha, and it works for the most part. It's a little buggy occasionally, but it's never to the point to where I'm like, where like I can't play this ever.
And
Because
if you're a Dragon Ball fan and you haven't played Budokai Tenkaichi 3,
three
like
specifically, I don't know about one or two.
because I know Dragon Ball is pretty old now. You might be younger, a
Yeah,
younger person who got into Dragon Ball and you just never played this game. I promise you, other than maybe I don't know, I can't say for Kakarot, but it's a different style. As far as the fighting
Kakarot's fun.
games.
I didn't want. I was playing it last night. I didn't want to put it down.
Yeah, okay, but as far as the fighting games, not an RPG or something like that, as far
Uh,
as just like, standard 3D fighting Dragon Ball games, Budokai Tenkaichi is the best. Tenkaichi 3.
It's
You
my
gotta
favorite
try
fighting
it.
game. It's honestly my very favorite fighting game. More than
Me
Smash,
too.
more than Street Fighter. You want to catch me any day of the week. Don't catch me on Final Destination. Don't catch me on Street Fighter. You know what? Where you can find me? You can find me in the desert wasteland in Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. That's where you can catch these hands.
The thing about Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was just that everything about the controls, the fighting, the playing was great. That was already good in Tenkaichi 1. But
Bro, that
Tenkaichi
roster.
3, that's what it is. They had what, like 140 characters or something?
Oh my god, and like the most obscure characters. We're what me and
Bro,
Nero
a
are on the Namex.
Rayleigh.
What?
A Rayleigh from
Dude,
Dragon Ball, who's technically from Dr. Stump, or what is it? Slump?
Slump.
Slump? Dr. Slump.
His first manga.
Yeah, is in this freaking game. And you can have her fight Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta
And she'll
and win.
probably win. Yeah.
She's a good character. The only thing about it now is that it came out when Super didn't exist. So it's got all the GT characters, like so many, and obviously no one from Super. That's why I want them to re-release it. Please to God, keep in the GT characters because I love some of those characters in that game. But put in the Super characters too. I would love that.
I saw mock fan art of what a Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4 could look like.
Mm.
Oof, like just a poster, I mean, and I was just like, dang, if they just did this, because they kind of did it again after that with Raging Blast 1 and 2, because it was
It's not the
very,
same.
it was very similar gameplay, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, but they took away.
They went from like over 100 characters to like maybe 20.
Yeah, it's not that many
It was
for sure.
and it was like
It was a
none of the
fun game, but
yeah, like me and Nate sunk hours into that game playing it.
it's just not the same. You could like your dream combinations, and the cool thing was you could also record it.
Uh-huh.
This was on PS2.
Oh
Those
yeah.
recordings, you're not posting it somewhere.
Mhm.
But you could just record it anyway. You could record your like dream combos, like have them fight. I don't know. And they have teams, so like you could switch out. You got like 3 characters you go in with. You can switch between them. That was cool. It's a cool game.
It's one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
Not just
It's one of the games I put the most time in my life into.
oh yeah. So to wrap things up, let's say where we are now with Dragon Ball. And we'll go into, where we are now with anime. Because obviously
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because Dragon Ball was important to you just to get into anime. Like after that, you didn't stop.
oh yeah. So after that, I think was it One Piece I watched first or Yu Yu Hakusho? Do you remember?
I think we tried Yu Yu Hakusho first. You got too bored with it, and then we tried One
No, it
Piece.
was One Piece because then I was like, I remember the day I texted you and said fuck it. No, it was Yu Yu Hakusho. You're right because we started watching it together and then I took it home by myself and then just never finished it.
Yep.
But then I remember when I was at the American Legion in Fortville and I remember texting you, quote, I said, F it, let's watch One Piece. And
Yeah, bro.
and you texted me back, are you serious? Like you were like
Life-changing moment.
oh my god, dude, yeah, okay. And I believe we also started One Piece on Yahoo Messenger.
Yeah, we probably did.
We definitely did. And it was around that time that we started watching One Piece and Dragon Ball Z abridged over Yahoo Messenger.
You didn't skip anything in One Piece, right?
No.
Oh man,
Nor did
you
we
went
skip
through
anything
it.
in Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Well, we skipped filler, or did we not?
We started to watch the Garlic Jr. Saga, and then all of us because Chris was there at the time too. All of us
I remember that.
we're like, no. We watched like 2 episodes of it, and we were all like,
But I
8
think
more
it's the
episodes of
only
this.
yeah, I think it's the only filler we skipped though.
Um, I think it is because there's only actually 40 episodes total, 39 episodes total filler.
Yeah,
'Cause
we watched like the Otherworld tournament, right?
yeah, and that might be the only filler one that I do watch with Ariel because I'm adamant on skipping filler in anime if it's possible or needed, unless it's Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail's filler is dope. Like,
Yeah, One Piece's used to be dope. Remember we used to defend One Piece filler.
because it was funny. It was never like epic, but it was funny. Fairy Tail can be
No.
funny and it can be epic. They've got like 2 or 3 like not filler arcs that are just so awesome.
So when did Bleach come in?
Bleach came about, I want to say 2012 because
So we're going to cons already.
because it was Tyler who told me to start watching it. Because at that point, I still was not watching things in Japanese. I refused to.
Yeah, how long did that take? Till Bleach?
Bleach was my first or second anime. Because I don't remember if it was Bleach or Star Driver were my first in Japanese that I
Bro,
watched fully. I'd
we
seen.
def
Go ahead.
sorry. Sorry,
Go.
sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying I'd seen things, watched things in Japanese, and reluctantly, like there was a movie we watched in Japanese at ASEN with Chelsea and Tyler, but I don't remember what it was because I was not interested because it was in Japanese at the time, and I even today
Ye-
I still watch stuff in English preferably, but that's for a whole different reason that I'm not going to get into right now because it won't make sense to anybody. But I have a good reason for watching it in English now. It's not bad or anything. It's just I've told you about it. I just don't want to talk about it on here.
All right. I don't remember, but
I'll
all
tell you when
right.
we're done.
Okay. I was just gonna say that yeah, we for a long time, both of us were dub hardcore, like only dub.
And you know what? Screw it. I'll say it. I've in the time since convention reviews has gone, I've developed anxiety, not crippling, but as many people do, I developed anxiety for whatever reason. If I'm sitting watching subbed anime, I get incredibly anxious. I don't know if it's because I'm thinking while I'm reading, and that's making me think about other things. But
Mm.
for whatever reason, I just get really anxious when I'm reading subtitled anime, and so now I just anytime watch English anime, I'm fine.
Well,
But
that's the thing, dude. It's all entertainment, so it should never,
I
if you're
mean,
watching something and it's making you feel that way, you should definitely watch it in the way that's most enjoyable to you.
dude, I watched Shield or Doctor Stone last year in English, and oh man, didn't care that
Hmm.
I was watching in English because it was awesome.
There's also, I mean, we won't get into all this, but I think the things that really would end up setting anime over the top for you, I don't want to put words in your mouth,
Oh, I bet I know
but
what you're
I've
gonna say, but go for it.
FMA and Gurren Lagann.
Absolutely, absolutely. What FMA for sure. I was super reluctant on both of these anime actually.
Mm-hmm.
Most it was Gurren Lagann that got me out of the whole. All right, I'm not trying because you made me watch FMA,
And he loved it.
and but I didn't want to because I first saw it on Adult Swim years ago, and it weirded me out, and I didn't years prior, and it weirded
Me
me out,
too, though.
and I didn't want to
Me
watch it.
too.
And you and Chris were both like, "No, you're watching it. We're watching it." And I sat there and watched it, and by the third episode, I was like, "Keep going."
Yeah, we watched. This is another one we watched together. This was after Dragon Ball.
Mhm.
We would watch One Piece, but obviously didn't finish One Piece because it's still not finished. And we would watch FMA, and then I remember after we finished FMA, it was like that day. No, maybe it's another day, but I told you I was like, I want you to watch this other anime, and it might be better than FMA. Looking back, I think FMA is probably the better anime, but at the time, Gurren Lagann was
Story
so over the top. Yes, story wise it is, but Gurren Lagann was so over the top, crazy, epic that I fully believed like this could be like one of the best anime ever made. And I still think it might be. It's so good. But
It,
yeah,
yeah, man, yeah, and I just
they
actually
do, huh?
I actually just I rewatched FMA Brotherhood. Brotherhood. We got to say that. Full Metal
Sorry, yeah, it's
Alchemist Brotherhood.
Brotherhood. It's a Brotherhood.
I've never seen. I don't know if you have, but I've never seen all of the original show. I know I'm terrible. Um,
Yeah.
but Brotherhood is again, I rewatched it this year, and man, oh, what a perfect show, dude. I
Yeah,
mean,
I rewatched all of it other than like the last 5 episodes. For some reason, Eli and I just stopped. And we
well,
need to finish it.
you didn't have internet.
No, no, I have it.
I mean, you okay? So never mind.
I don't need internet.
Well, watch them, dude, because I'm telling you, they hold up.
Legally, guys, don't at me. I have it legally, okay?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
stream mine on Funimation. I mean,
yeah, I need to finish it
that's
though.
another thing. Back in the day, I don't want to incriminate. Back in the day, we would get our stuff in the non-legal way. That's
Well, yeah, back in the day, it was like a wasteland for anime, bro. We were just transitioning. We buy anything or pay to use legal sites now. Always use legal things whenever we can.
Mhm.
But back then, it was like a wasteland, and we didn't really even know 100% what
There
was
was,
going
there was
on with things.
Crunchyroll, and there was what Netflix had to offer.
Bro, Crunchyroll was super new back then
Mhm.
still. And I did watch stuff on Crunchyroll back then, but still didn't even know if it was legal. I don't even know if it was legal at first back then because at first they were just another site. And then I think
They got legit.
they got legit. I don't know how they got legit, but they lawyered up and they got legit. And then there was also animefreak.tv, which pretty
Mhm.
sure is not a legal viewing site. But back then it's like, that's what everyone was watching on. We don't know where else to watch because
Yeah,
the internet's, it's like a
streaming site.
wasteland.
People would stream. People would illegally download. I mean, because again, you want to watch what's an obscure anime from it? You want to watch Gurren Lagann? Well, it was on Netflix. See,
Yeah,
Netflix.
Salty
That was the good
Ray,
thing about
dude.
Netflix. It did have a lot of variety. I think it had
Bro,
more.
when I'm thinking of though, I'm literally thinking of pre-Netflix. I guess you got in right around Netflix time,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
I'm thinking when I first got into it, that was not really an option.
No. And then um so I guess
Well,
go ahead.
there's one thing we just kind of brushed over it, but yeah, with the wasteland that the internet was back then, where we were watching it on Yahoo, we were sending MySpace links. Take that in. MySpace video was a thing back then, a competitor to YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And on MySpace video, you could find so much anime. Because even on YouTube, though, you could find so much anime. And like we mentioned, they'd be split into parts because you could only upload 10 minutes. But there wasn't a copyright system back then.
Oh, there's a reason
There
that
were,
those memes exist now where they say you'll never know the struggle until you've had to watch the Naruto fight in 260p in two different parts.
yeah, because that's what it was. We were watching low quality versions on YouTube
And I
or the
can't
better
relate with
quality. No, I can't relate. I never watched it. I watched it in multiple parts, but they were never that low.
I did
They weren't.
I have an ex who she said that that's how she used to have to watch Naruto and One Piece was through stuff like that.
Oh, when we watched One Piece, it was low quality
Oh, yes, for
for
sure.
sure. When I watched it at first, especially. But the Dragon Ball stuff, it was fine. Seriously, the best Dragon Ball stuff I could find. I don't know if anyone remembers watching these, if anyone out there did, but it was the MySpace videos.
Mhm.
They were good quality. They were all one thing. They weren't split in half. You could upload the
Probably
whole thing.
probably at least 480 for back then, and that was
I
real.
think it was.
480p was HD in those days.
What was HQ? They called
High
it
quality.
HQ.
You're right. You're right. High quality,
Yeah,
not.
high quality. You click on a button that said high quality, and you'd go from 360 right to
Yep.
480.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it did look better.
I mean, it would make your computer run slow as hell,
Yeah,
but so you'd just eventually suck it up and watch it on 360. But
but yeah, that's just so crazy to think that that's where we were watching this stuff, and we weren't back then. We weren't thinking twice. Like, is this illegal? I
no,
didn't even know that that was a possibility.
I'm just trying to watch
You
Dragon
know?
Ball with my buddy.
Yeah, it's like it's on the internet. Like it can't be illegal if it's on the internet. It's all accessible. No, I mean really, it's like we're on YouTube and MySpace. These are just like our normal sites. Like it wouldn't be on here if it wasn't allowed. It's kind of we don't know anything.
Uh,
An
man.
innocent time.
And then from there, it's around that time after Gurren Lagann. That's when right after Gurren Lagann is when you and I actually went to I think that's when we went to our first anime convention.
It is, and I think that that's where it all kind of wraps together. I think that's where it wraps up nice and neatly. Put a little bow on it. Is that at this point I still hadn't watched that much anime. I wasn't watching new anime coming out.
No,
And
yeah,
you
I
had
definitely
watched less
wasn't.
than me. You had watched, as far as I know, to completion. You can fill in the blanks, but as far as I know, at the time we went to that first con, the only things you'd watched to completion were um, Dragon Ball, FMA, what's it, Gurren Lagann, maybe Soul Eater, or was that later?
Soul Eater was I'd watched it, but I hadn't completed it because I didn't finish watching Soul Eater until the following year after that con because that's when I got my laptop and I remember watching Soul Eater
Oh,
like just continuously for like 5 hours one day in my parents' living room, just sitting there on the chair, just because didn't want to stop because I was enjoying it so much.
but either way, you'd watch like maybe five
At
tops
that
to the
point, yeah,
completion.
maybe 5 to 10, somewhere in there.
But that's where everything really changed. Is going to that first con, meeting Vic. You know, no matter what has happened with Vic since, or where the Vic back then was like
He was a rock star.
legendary to
Yeah, he was a
us.
rock star back then.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, he was playing the biggest characters in our favorite shows, and we never met anyone like that. He's coming in. He's got so much. If you ever meet Vic, he has so much charisma,
Hmm.
which I don't think anyone would deny that.
And
And
this
it was,
we're not trying to up talk him or down talk him against either side. We're simply stating our experience with the man.
and you got to remember this was 2011.
Mm-hmm.
This was back before any sort of controversy was going around about Vic. And so at this time, you know, all we're thinking is this guy is
This legendary
awesome.
voice actor Vic Mignogna. There's Broly right in front of me.
Yeah, and there's Broly and there's Ed because we had already watched FMA. That first con was like our FMA weekend,
You're right.
and yeah. But you're
I
sure you
remember
hadn't seen Soul Eater yet? When
I
did
had seen it. No, I had seen it. I just hadn't like delved into it.
when did Nate do his Soul Eater? Oh no, it wasn't Soul Eater. It
Uh,
was High School of the Dead that
That
he
was me. I
cosplayed,
did High School
and
of the
that
Dead. Oh, his cosplay? That was the next year, 2012.
yeah, you're right. That was the next year because Katie was there. And the
Hmm.
first year it was just me and you, and then Chris and his crew on the other room.
Right. Um,
So yeah, but I think that wraps it all together so well because I think going to that con pretty much changed everything. That's where like okay, we were into anime, but this opened our eyes to the
right
world of anime.
after that, that's around the time you showed me Foolie Cooley. We watched it
Mm-hmm.
in a day. It was only 6 episodes. Um, I can't remember what all we started. I know around the summer of 2012. That's when because I got my own Netflix account.
Yeah, and just start going through stuff.
And I do remember the first anime I ever watched on my own though was Wolf Children.
Is it Wolf Children?
That was the first anime I ever watched on my own.
What's the name of the one about wolves from the studio that made?
Oh, Wolf Children. We actually just watched that the other night because I got it on Blu-ray recently.
That's what you
Nick,
just said. You just
uh,
said Wolf Children.
did
What
I?
was the
I meant
Wolf's?
Wolf. Why
It's
am I?
something else.
No, you're right. Wolf Children is one of my all-time favorite movies. Not the
Yeah, it's a movie. The anime is the F is
Wolf's
that
Rain.
anime called?
Wolf's Rain.
Wolf's Rain. Yes, Wolf's Rain. And you wanted me to watch it so bad, and I was like, nah, bruh.
No, yeah, you don't need to. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, now I'm definitely not gonna go watch
I
it. But
mean,
back
it's
then, I just
cool, but it's like looking. I couldn't tell you what the show's about.
wolves.
Dude, it's not even about that. I don't think. I don't know what it's
Oh,
about. It's about these wolves trying to take this human hybrid flower plant thing to the ice place so she can bloom, and she does, and then the world dies and resets, and that's the show.
oh gosh. Okay.
It's really, really weird. I couldn't tell you what oh, it's just such a weird show. It's
You
good.
loved it back then.
Well, it was because it does have really good parts. It's a good show and it's
Yeah.
a very, very good story. I just don't remember what it's about because it's convoluted and crazy. It's anime.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, all right. We are running up right now on 2 hours.
Um, oh, Nate just came back in. He's got some B dubs. You missing B dubs, Cody?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, oh, he was giving me the symbol, but he's just joking.
No, it's all good. We are up on 2 hours, so we should really probably cut it. Call
Yeah,
it a day.
yeah, you're right.
I I will say, this is made specifically to be part of Dakota's podcast, but I will say to anyone who made it this far, who is watching on Convention Reviews, we have already talked about that if this is received well, and well received doesn't even necessarily need like tons of views. We realize we haven't posted on that channel in
If,
so long.
if we get
But
4
if
comments asking for more, we'll probably do it again.
yeah, if we get a couple people being like do more, then we may do more. Maybe we're talking about possibly becoming a once a month thing. We don't know. But if you're interested, just as a tease, if we were to do another one, I think what we would want to do is just kind of pick up with starting talking about the cons.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be more related to the Convention Reviews channel. It'd be like really behind the scenes stuff that has never been heard,
What we were doing
never been
outside of
talked
the
about.
cons, leading up to the cons.
Yeah, what we were thinking at these cons, things that
Where
happened
we
that didn't get
were working.
shown, and yeah. So it would really just turn into like a major behind the scenes reminiscing type of
Like
a show
we said,
for
Nate's here for the time being. We're probably going to be using his computer when he lets us.
yeah.
But he also will probably join us in some episodes if we can get a hold of Drew. Drew is a little hard to contact these days, but
That's another thing, just updating you guys on where the crew is. What's up with the crew? It'd be cool to get different crew members in here if we could. So yeah, it's just a thought. If you guys want to see that, just let us know. And if you don't, then this was a fun thing to do. Nice reminiscing and that's all it is.
it really is. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I hope we do this again because you know me, I love recording and talking, and I love the sound of my own voice. Actually, I hate the sound of my own voice, but I know other people enjoy it. So
Shoot, bro, I might be down to do it again even if we don't get good response. It is fun.
there is that book club idea we were talking about doing.
That's another thing we could
Book
do.
our
It could
movie
become
club,
something like that.
you know.
Yeah, it could become something like that.
Yeah.
So we really don't know what we're gonna do with it yet, but
Maybe we can just do it for funds. Who knows?
yeah, let us know what you think if you're on the Convention Reviews version of this in the comments. And if you're on the Convention Review site and you wanna check out, you really should go look up D's OPs on whatever your favorite podcast service is and check out the other stuff Dakota's done because it's not exactly like this show. I mean, you can tell what it is if you want.
See, what D's OPs is, for the people that don't know, the Convention Reviews people, the carnivores listening, I don't have names for my 4 fans yet. But I got a lot of opinions, as you might have guessed, about a lot of things. You can ask Cody, right? Am I right? I got a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
I'm very opinionated, especially when it comes to movies, TV, stuff like that. Very rarely will I get political. Very rarely. Like the most political I'd get is maybe don't carve Trump's name on the back of a manatee. Like,
Oh Jesus, did
yeah,
that happen?
yeah. Someone,
Oh
I
gosh.
don't. Again, I'm not gonna get into it, but maybe let's leave. I don't care who it is. Maybe let's leave the politics off the animals. But so that's about as far as I'll get politically. But yeah, it's called the Dakota's Opinion Pieces. D's OPs.
And that's really what they are. They're opinion pieces that Dakota takes the time, writes out these really well written scripts, and just goes through them. And personally, I'm a fan. I
Oh.
enjoy it, and I think you guys would as well. And I think if you should really check it out.
Mm-hmm. It might be hard to find because it's so small right now, but it is on Spotify. I
Yeah.
think it's on iTunes.
Bro, of course we're gonna throw a link to it in the description. We'll throw a link to the Spotify version in the description.
And I don't know who has Stitcher, but I don't think it's on Stitcher.
Oh.
I use Stitcher for my podcasts, but that's
okay.
I pay $2.99 for premium. But I'm about to cancel that because the only reason I did it was for Kevin Smith stuff, and he took all his stuff off of there.
Oh, well.
But I just
all right, guys. That's it, right?
Yeah, you know what you got to remember to do, Cody.
What's that?
You and everybody at home. You got to remember something. And that is to point it up.
Thank you guys so much for sitting through part 1 and this part 2 of this podcast that Dakota and I did. Don't forget to jump over to Dakota's podcast, link in the description, and it's available on all podcast services. Go subscribe to that if you want to hear more of what Dakota's doing. As far as for this show, like I mentioned earlier in the episode when it just started, we will be doing more of this, so don't forget to leave in the comments below any questions you might want to ask us, because the next episode's going to be a Q&A, going to be really catching everyone up on where we've been and what's happened over the last 3 years. Anything you were ever dying to know when this channel was in its prime, and anything you want to know about moving forward, please let us know, and we will do our best to answer them to completion. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one. No schedule yet, but eventually maybe we'll get on a schedule. I have no idea. But for now, we'll see you when we see you. As Dakota would say, don't forget to point it up. You might get mad at me for saying that, but since he's not here to say it himself, don't forget to point it up.